Alright, so my name is Kyle Welch, and I'm a second year LOP student, and I'm going to be helping out Corbett this year as a TA, doing some tutorials, some grading, whatever else needs to be done, and I will make sure that I pass along my contact information to everyone through her, my email address, phone number, whatever it might be. I don't know exactly how much you'll be on campus this semester, but I'll try to maximize that time as well. And so I know a lot of us have different backgrounds, different skills. That's one of the great things about our program. And with that, people probably have different degrees of knowledge regarding Excel and financial statements and all these things. So that is where my background is and kind of where I'm going in some ways as well. So I am here as a resource to help people out if they have questions along the way. Before we get started, just a quick note: if your screen looks different from mine, it's probably because you're either working on a PC and have Microsoft Excel 2010, or you're probably working on a Mac. But the concepts should still be pretty consistent across the board. If you're still deciding, if you haven't bought a computer yet, if you're trying to decide between a PC or a Mac, I would recommend a PC moving forward, just because that is what you'll probably encounter in a job setting, and getting familiar with that is probably the best way to be prepared there. But like I said, a Mac will probably do most of the things. There are a couple of functions that are unique to the PC version that you won't be able to do on a Mac, but those are kind of more advanced, and we'll get to that later on. So like I said, some of this might be redundant for you if you have a background where you've used Excel extensively, but this is really just designed to start off to be high-level information regarding some basic functions of Excel and some data manipulation to help us get started. So we're going to start under the premise that we are a company that's selling some product, and we have a list of our customers. We got our last name, first name, the city of that customer or state, the amount that they owe us, and when we sent them the bill. So just for reference and tying this into financial statement component of the course as well, this is what we would consider to be accounts receivable. So these are goods or services that we've already produced or given to our customer, and we expect payment in return. So at that point, we were able to we've already recognized the revenue, and we were looking to collect that money. Now, especially depending on the industry that you're in, if you're a utility company or if you're a healthcare company, a hospital, or something like that, accounts receivable is something that you really want to pay attention to, because if you let the bills get too delinquent, and if people aren't paying you in a timely fashion, you have to start estimating what the amount that you're actually going to collect will be. So if a bill has been outstanding for 2 years, the likelihood of you collecting 100% of that is pretty slim. So that kind of gives us some context, but again, we're just going to try to start more high level to begin. So let's say I want to add another column. I could right click there and go to insert. I could also delete a column. Same goes for different rows. If I had a new customer that I want to add here, I could do the same, but for now I'm just going to delete it. Alright, now another function. You'll see that this total amount that's owed to us, that looks kind of messy right now. So I want to change that. So I click that cell, and I could do Control Shift and then the arrow key down, and that's going to help me select all of those as a quick shortcut. So if I want to make that a dollar value, I could click this dollar sign here, and that gives us that symbol, but it's still kind of messy because of the decimals. It's just too much to look at. So we click that button twice, and we can reduce the decimal places. Now, some people also might find this dollar sign to be a little distracting, so we can go back and change the format again, bring it back to that regular number, and then instead we can just click the comma to get that feature, and then again we'll click this decimal place symbol there, and now we have it in a clean format. Now Now, other things I can do with this set of information, I want to highlight this top row and go to this data tab and click filter, and then you'll see you have a drop down option now for each of these. So now I can play with each of these. If I wanted to sort the column based on the last name, I go sort A to Z. Now that's in alphabetical order. If I wanted to sort it by state, help us get a grip on which territories that we need to focus on, then we can do the same there. I could also do it by numerical values as well. So I go to this total amount, I do the filter, I want to see what our largest accounts were. So I go largest to smallest, and that helps me kind of focus in on where we need to be. And then if I can just go back and I can clear all the filters, and that gets us to kind of where we started. So that is a very high level start. There are lots of more intricate features that we'll get into, but hopefully that's a good starting point.